not let this interrupt us. We've got one of the finest products and a really fabulous team of people here, and we're going to let the world know we're still in business.
They're set-up, self-styled assassins. That's what they are. And they're a mafia-type gang. And we have them on both sides of the community. And they decide who they're going to kill, and they attempt to carry that out and succeed on many occasions. But we will relentlessly pursue them.
The BBC History of Ireland reached its final episode last night. More than 600 minutes of television have been devoted to this vast topic, from the earliest days to, of course, the present troubles.
I thought it very one-sided.
In what way?
Well, all I could see from beyond the end is all these orange parades. You know, that's all I could see. I only seen one nationalist parade, that's up to Falls Road. The rest of them's all, you know, 12th of July celebration.
The first time I seen it, they were always blaming the Protestants, whoever was commentating it.
Well, I personally thought that we've had too much of that in this country.
Too much of what?
I watched it.
I think they're very, very good. And there's a lot of young people now that didn't really know, about the troubles now, and they were, really interested, like my own one, Hello, all my wee lads are on a long cash.
I thought it was a very biased and very unevenly balanced programme in regard to the present-day outline of events.
Russia! Pushing down on me, pressing down on you, no man has fallen under pressure. Burns it building down, streets of family and soon puts people on streets. Eat it up, that's okay. It's the terror of knowing what this world is about. Watching some good friends scream, let me out. Tomorrow, gets me higher. Pushing on, people on streets.
Tipping around, keep my brains on the floor. These are the days it never rains, but it falls.
There is no such thing as political murder, political bombing, or political violence. There is only criminal murder, criminal bombing, and criminal violence. We will not compromise on this. There will be no political status.
What this world is about. Watching some good friends scream.
They are discussing the Constitution, and this will all come out in the wash, and I brand her exactly as Nick Winterton did. She's lying through her teeth.
She wonders how she ever got here if she goes under again. Girls on film, 2 minutes later. Girls on film. Girls on film. That's a picture. Girls on film.
The hunger strike prisoner, Bobby Sands, has won the by-election in Northern Ireland by a narrow majority, but it's still a propaganda boost for the IRA.
Sands, Bobby, anti-H block, Armagh, political prisoner, 30,000. 492.
I picked you out, I shook you up and turned you around, turned you into someone new. Now
have left with them this appeal in the fervent hope that sometime, somehow, this appeal will be instrumental in bringing about a peaceful and lasting solution to the dangerous and tragic situation which has arisen.
Do you think if he does go into a coma, you would give the authorization for him to be intravenously fed?
No, he told me not to. It's a sad thing to say, and I would feel I love my son just like any other mother does, but I wouldn't. I can't. He asked me not to, and I've promised him not to.
I just plead to the parents to keep their kids in, because I don't want their parents to go through what I'm going through.
We have seen today the funeral of a man who took his own life, either by his own decision or because those behind him felt it was in the interest of their cause that he should die. Whatever the reason, it was a tragedy that he should have added his name to the list of those in Northern Ireland who have died as a result of a campaign which can contribute nothing.
Einstein, go, go.
Court Castle Bullet Horn.
Now, where would you say this man's from?
I'd say he's from West Belfast, is that right?
Yeah, indeed, yes.
Court Castle Bullet Horn? What the hell does that mean? Well, ask this man. What does this mean?
Well, it's just a number of words to read that to work out just what your accent is, what accent you have, and where you might come from, and so on.
Where are you from? Just I live here, up the street there. Yeah. Hey, cheerio now.
Okay.
Do you believe that your brother's death will make any difference to their attitude?
Hopefully, yes. But I would just like to say that Margaret Thatcher, the British government, has murdered my brother. Francis' blood is in Margaret Thatcher's hands.
This place is coming like a ghost town.
What was your attitude to the security forces before Carol Ann was killed?
I didn't have anything. I bothered with nobody. I didn't. I was never even outside the door. They used to come and stand at the gate there. I never bothered with them. But after Carol Ann was killed, yes, I hate them now. I'm very, very bitter towards them, especially the one that killed her.
It's very curious, the Army's attitude towards the computer, because until 1975 or so, you could chat with them freely and they'd tell you about certain things about the computer, and they'd do little tricks and they'd say, would you like to know what colour such and such's wallpaper is, or what kind of a settee he has? Now, however, they've clamped down a lot on that. They're a lot more security conscious about it, and they're a lot more publicity conscious about it.
There are people who have been elected in this election who are not very far from the gunmen. And I think that the people themselves will learn to live with that and to recognise that in the weeks and months which lie ahead.
Watching the TV, and we heard the narration. I opened the door and I looked out, and the boys was all out there clodding. And the next thing they all run up the back here and got up on the roof and started to clod over there. And I come out and asked them to please go away, for we're only pensioners. And they never even took any heed to us at all. They just kept on clodding.
Happens all the time. It's gonna happen, happen till you change your mind. It's gonna happen, happen, happens all the time. It's gonna happen, happen till
Wish it was all goods made in Ulster. I wanted to buy something, but they wouldn't let me get near the counters.
Mr. X and the young girl, see how far he'll let you go.
Faced now with the failure of their discredited cause, the men of violence have chosen in recent months to play what may well be their last card. They've turned their violence against themselves through the prison hunger strike to death. They seek to work on the most basic of human emotions, pity, as a means of creating tension and stoking the fires of bitterness and hatred.
Notice what's wrong. Two-faced to you when you're taking them on. Happens all the time. It's gonna happen, happen till you change your mind.
She may well defeat the prisoners, and if she does, it would be a Pyrrhic victory, because what she will have done, and has done, in fact, already, is to increase the capacity of the Provisional IRA to continue with their military campaign.
The people who take part in the Troubles are a very small section of the population. If those people had been introduced to a challenging sport at the proper stage in their lives, then I think they'll get the same sense of adventure, the same challenge, and almost the same feeling from that as they would get perhaps from going out and throwing stones at soldiers, which in some context is a kind of recreation, I'm afraid.
We're standing faithful to Jesus Christ. We're standing for the truth of God's precious
going to remember every part of it. Every part of it from start to finish.
I love the royal family. I love them all. Love to see them. I don't see enough of them on TV.
And you may ask yourself, how do I work this? And you may ask yourself, where is that Lord John?
Very anxious, naturally, after 8 boys dying. My son's 5 years on.
I never thought there would be one. Never mind.
And of course, your son might go on the hunger strike himself.
It's a possibility as the way things are going. There's 70 volunteers waiting on turn.
But Mr. Pryor is not going to talk to an organisation which has been responsible for the murder of hundreds of British soldiers, hundreds of policemen and hundreds of civilians.
Those were the very words which Mr. Lloyd George used in 1920.
But the Irish leaders with whom Lloyd George negotiated were representative of the Irish people. You are not.
Mr. Kern is an elected representative of the Irish people. So is Mr. Agnew, and so was Mr. Doherty.
3 constituencies?
Yes. Well,
out of the whole of the island?
Well, it's a beginning, and it's a beginning on which we hope to build.
I think they're in a fairly relaxed mood. I think a certain tension has departed from the prison, thanks be to God. And they're now expecting that some satisfactory solution will be made concerning their problems. And they have very serious problems in there, as you know.
I think it would be important to get it right rather than to hurry over any decision.
So you're not likely to make any early move this week?
Oh, I think this week, yes, but perhaps not today.
California now. I have a son and a wife, and they're more important to me really than anything at the moment. And they want to be in California, so really, I'd like to get back once in a while and play, you know, a few games, maybe exhibition stuff, if it's possible. But I think that would be about it, really.
Jimmy Nicholl takes it. Up goes Billy Hamilton. Armstrong, yes!
They gave him these. They told him that's what we would have used if anything had gone wrong when we were kidnapping you.
Many others?
And that's what we would have used if anything, if you had made a false move while we were guarding you. And we'd like you to give this to Father McCarthy.
Sometimes I feel I've got to run away, I've got to...
There's no appeal against this court ruling. It is the Supreme Court of Europe, in effect. So people will have to accept that the minorities do have these rights and can't any more be liable to such severe penalties.
An outside body who is not committed to the moral values that the people of Northern Ireland are committed to is prepared to say you will legislate perversion and immorality.
Walked in the cold air, freezing breath on the window pane, lying and waiting.
Do you find the comments like Mr. Paisley's that he will attempt to make Ulster ungovernable helpful?
What do you think? I mean, Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom, and as such the laws of the United Kingdom must be upheld and will be upheld, and I make that absolutely clear.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I call for quietness? Nothing should happen today that would dishonor the name of Mr. Bradford. We call, please, for your quiet. Music is weaving.
I'll tell you what's disgraceful. The people that murdered Mr. Bradford and Mr. Pryor, who has the blood in his hands and will not do anything about it, those are the disgraceful scenes. And the disgraceful man is Mr. Pryor.
A service of hymns and a silent tribute as well. There were many in tears and many also angry as well. This was a scene repeated around smaller war memorials across the province. And as the hour of the funeral came, Belfast's main shopping streets almost emptied as the mourners lined all sides of the City Hall.
I serve notice on Jim Pryor. Notice to quit.
In the house, what am I going to do? I mean, newborn baby.
Well, yeah, just
I had to
turn
get
the motor
in.
and go down the street again and get through.
Get through the other way.
You might not get through, you might be lucky, but I don't. I haven't
Of course,
stopped.
I think I would better get through. What am I going to do in a wee baby in the house?
You know the time that's supposed to be closed off at.
No, 12 o'clock it was to be closed off at. Tell you one thing, if Paisley was here, Paisley would let me through.
Flesh and drink on blood, if I fear and
if an IRA man comes to a Protestant home and my men are there, they will kill that IRA man. Yes, sir.
And what if they find themselves in conflict with the British security forces?
Well, if the British security forces are going to join up with the IRA to kill Protestants, then we will be in conflict with them.
Hey, God, no respect. What do you think you do? Why you look so sad? It's not so bad. It's a nicer place. I shut up for your face.
I'm gratified that the American powers that be see me as an obstacle to them achieving Irish unity. And I'm gratified that they realise that I have fierce opposition to the London-Dublin Summit unity proposals.
But do you really think that Mrs. Thatcher is partly behind this?
Yes, I'm absolutely sure. I found out today about consultations that were going on.
That's making me feel so good. You ought to learn that this song, it's real simple. See, I sing, what's the matter you? You sing, hey! Then I sing it the rest. And then at the end, we can all sing, ah, shut up for your face. Okay, let's try it, really. Uno, due, tre, what's the matter you? Hey! God, no respect. Hey! What do you think you do? Hey! Why you look so sad? Hey! It's not so bad.